Every time they say to me, "We're saving you a seat, we'll forgive you if you wanna come back." I'm like, "Forgive me for what? For breaking free? Like, what do you mean? For crawling out on hands and knees, scared as shit, but knowing that it wasn't working and it was toxic and I need to get the hell out of this religious cult? You'll forgive me for escaping? Okay." When they say, "Oh, we're saving you a seat," I'm like, in my head, I would never say this, but in my head, I'm like, "There's seats out here. Like, come out to the freedom, bro. Like, what do you mean? You want me to go back to like be imprisoned? Like, it's okay." Hello, welcome to the Sobriety Bestie podcast. My name is Kirsten, and we are here in the woods today for another episode of Culty Comments, where we're going to look at a comment that I've received on the socials and deconstruct the AA ideology from that commenter. This is not about the commenter themselves. This is about the ideology they are speaking through, whether they are a true believer or not. For context, I was in Alcoholics Anonymous for 10 years and I left 5 years ago. This culty commenter says, "You are a bitter woman that's full of resentments and are passing judgment on all of us members who enjoy the program and have benefited. You were toxic. I'm glad you left AA." This one feels funny to me. "You are a bitter woman that's full of resentment." That's one of their favorite lines is "you're full of resentment." And the reason why I think it's one of their favorite lines is because not everybody, obviously not everybody is a culty commenter. Obviously not everybody in AA thinks this way or acts this way, right? I'm just speaking about the people who do this because I've been called resentful by a lot of people in culty comments. And so this whole like you're resentful thing, it's because so we know AA comes from the Oxford group cult religion, right? Bill basically repurposed the cult religion Oxford group, changed the word from sin. So it was like all about removing the sins that are blocking you from God. He changed it to resentments because he thought the alcoholics, his little squad of drunks, wouldn't like the term sin and wouldn't like the so much religious feel to it. So he called it resentments. And then he made up literally made it fucking up that resentment is the number one offender and we alcoholics must be rid of it. Right, you remember that line from the book? It's just all coming back in my head now. Someone was saying to me that like AA is like a language, it's like a second language or in your head that you can't quite get rid of. It's like you can't, it's hard to unlearn it. And I'm like, yeah, sometimes I notice that like the words from the book just come out of my mouth. Yikes. I mean, when I'm making videos like this with you, I don't mean like in general in conversation with people or anything. Okay, so full of resentment and bitter. This is a classic projection from a AA member who feels offended, irritated, annoyed, something by my comments. And it's great. I mean, really, the way that I think about it, and we've talked about this before, is their nervous systems are locked into that their safety, their identity, their literally their safety, their survival is locked on the AA ideology being true because they believe it. And so a dissenter feels like a threat, like a physiological threat in their system. So they're biochemically having the reaction, like the stress response reaction to what feels like a threat to their life, their identity, their purpose, their worldview, their community, their tribe, everything, because AA is all encompassing, isn't it? So yeah, it feels like a threat. So they say these like things that are not coming from critical thinking, in my opinion. It's like a reaction. And when we're inside the AA ideology, because resentment is the number one offender that Bill made up, then yeah, if you are a dry drunk, another made up term in AA ideology, because you're not working the program, because you left AA or you're not doing your steps or you're not going to meetings or whatever, then yeah, you're going to be, according to the ideology, which is nonsensical, then you're going to be resentful. So if someone's dissenting and your threat response is activated, it makes sense to me logically why they would emotionally have the reaction of assuming somebody is resentful because they haven't done a 4 step or a daily 10 step or whatever. But the reality is that it's not true. That's like saying if I'm naughty and not nice, it's going to affect Santa and what happens on Christmas Day. It's like, yeah, I get that that's part of the Santa mythology, but that's not reality. There isn't a fucking Santa Claus. AA isn't true. So, yeah, okay. You believe that to not do the AA program, to not work the program, is to be resentful. But that doesn't make it true. It makes it true in your mind, not in the reality of how life and the world works. So I get it. It's just not based in like, it's not true. You are passing judgment on all of us members who enjoy the program and have benefited. I enjoyed the program. I benefited. Maybe I am passing some judgment on them. Fair enough. That's probably true for sure, especially specifically some of them, because some of them did some horrific things, like when we get into like 13th step and that kind of stuff. But my intention and what I'm aiming to do, whether or not it's received in the way that I'm intending it, is to deconstruct AA, to wake up from the ideology, to remove the mind control from my head and maybe even your head. Through me reading the comments and what other people are saying, by the way, if anything's coming up for you, an experience or whatever, definitely drop it in the comments because there's a lot of things that I see in the comments underneath these videos that help me wake up more. And maybe there's things that I'm saying that help you wake up more. So for me, it's not about judging the other members. If you want to run away with the circus, if you want to go to a cult religion, why would I care what anybody else does with their life? That has nothing to do with me. I'm not here to judge anybody in AA. What is that going to do for me? No, I'm here to get the AA that's still in my head out of my head. Honestly, leaving Alcoholics Anonymous was likely the hardest thing that I've ever done. And just like you, I've done some pretty freaking hard things in my life. And because it was so hard for me, I feel the need, the desire to speak into it, to speak about it, to share what my experience was, to validate others who are going through it. Because I think the reason why it was so hard for me, the main reason, is because I couldn't find anybody else that seemed to be telling the truth who wasn't like really angry, which is understandable. But there wasn't anybody who sounded level headed, like a critical, like that was just validating my experience that it is okay to leave, that I'm not going to die if I leave, that a fatal progressive disease is a made up term, it's not a reality, that I'm not powerless, that I'm not character defected, that it's not all untreated alcoholism, that alcoholism, the way that it's described in society, kind of in general, but specifically in Alcoholics Anonymous, isn't reality. Alcohol use disorder that's used medically is very different. There was nobody that was validating all this for me. And I think that's why it was so hard for me because not only was I going through all the exit trauma of leaving a cult religion, getting shunned by the tribe, having my emotions all over the place, and to have nobody mirror it back to me to validate that you're not crazy. You're leaving a toxic environment and this is what it feels like. And there's hope. And not only hope, but there's a path through and that you can do it. And right now it feels intense because of these reasons and there was nobody breaking it down for me. So I'm not speaking so that I can judge other people. I don't give a fuck. I'm speaking because it's a very hard process to go through. And what I realize now, 3.5 months into dissenting out loud, making content daily on the internet about leaving AA, I've done a lot of research and work in order to make some of these playlists that are more informational versus culty commenters. And that has grown me tremendously. And what it's done for me right now, because now I'm like 5 years and 3 months out of AA, it made me realize that, oh my gosh, if I've grown this much in the past 3 months, how much more AA is still in my head that's blocking me? It's kind of like disgusting and exciting at the same time because I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that like 1 year after I left AA, I thought I was good on deprogramming AA. But more was revealed when I started 5 years later talking about it. I thought when I started speaking about AA in the beginning of April 2025 that I was like pretty good. But I've changed so much since the beginning of April 2025 that I'm like, holy shit, there was still so much AA like running my mind. And I am very happily now actively deprogramming, and I'm not going to stop until I feel right, like it's right. I'll know when it's time to feel like I'm not in recovery from AA anymore, but I'm in recovery from recovery right now. I'm not in recovery from alcohol addiction. That ended in 2020. Right now, actively deconstructing, I'm in recovery from recovery because the recovery was harmful. And so I'm getting that harm out of my life by getting it out of my head. So this isn't about you, bro, getting all self-centered up in here. It has nothing to do with you. I'm not judging you. I don't really give a shit about you. I mean, I care about humanity. You know what I mean? But it is not about you. I don't know you, random person who found my video somehow and thinks that my video is about to insult you. It's not. It's not what we're doing here. Not at all. Namaste. You are toxic. I'm glad you left AA. Why is that so funny? I'm definitely, let's see if I can be honest about this. I would say that what I'm saying is definitely toxic to the AA ideology, because if you believe it's true, then yeah, it would feel like I am bashing you or harming your mind control. Fair enough. I am not deconstructing AA and sharing my journey out loud with anybody, including you, because I'm looking to be accepted, loved, supported, validated. I mean, all those things are nice, right? We're humans, we like those things, but that's not my intention. I don't expect to be understood. I've resolved a lot of that, especially after finding out I'm autistic and ADHD. I'm like, oh, I'm not supposed to be understood because most people don't understand me. Okay, thank you. What clarity I have now. So, actually, leaving AA in 2020, I got diagnosed autistic 1 year later and ADHD 4 years later. Literally less than a year ago, I got diagnosed ADHD or assessed. So, without understanding what was underneath my drinking and thinking it was all alcoholism led me astray for over a decade. I care deeply about everybody getting misdiagnosed in recovery scams, recovery cults like Alcoholics Anonymous. Because it's like, if we find out what's actually going on with us, we can get free so much sooner and not have to waste all your life in a church basement, spinning your wheels, going nowhere because you're praying away your the way that your brain works, your natural wiring. To me, it's complete bullshit or bullshit, as some people say. He says he's glad I left AA. Me too. That's where we agree. I'm very glad I left AA. And every time they say to me, "We're saving you a seat. We'll forgive you if you want to come back." I'm like, "Forgive me for what? For breaking free? Like, what do you mean? For crawling out on hands and knees, scared as shit, but knowing that it wasn't working and it was toxic and I need to get the hell out of this religious cult? You'll forgive me for escaping? Okay." When they say, "Oh, we're saving you a seat," I'm like, in my head, I would never say this, but in my head, I'm like, "There's seats out here. Like, come out to the freedom, bro. Like, what do you mean? You want me to go back to like be imprisoned? Like, it's okay." Could you imagine if you were arrested and you were out on parole, you did your time, whatever, and then somebody in the jail, like another prisoner, was like, "We're saving you a seat." It's like, what the hell? It's like, it's bananas. We don't want the seats. We do not want the seats. I mean, maybe there's some good intention there on their part. I don't know. It's hard to know someone's intention, right? I'm just going to keep doing my thing, dissenting out loud with you. I look forward to seeing you in the comments. If you want some guidance, support, community, fun, friendship in your deconstructing journey, I have the Escape Kit. Inside the Escape Kit, there's resources to help you deprogram from Alcoholics Anonymous. There is a community of people and conversations happening. I think that the connection is always super helpful. And there's some downloadable resources in there. I'll drop the link below to the Escape Kit if you want to check that out. And I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. Yeah. All right. Take care. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.